All right, back on this Tuesday and after the long Victoria Day weekend, and also back with us is royal expert Patricia Treble, who joins us this morning from Ottawa. Patricia, good morning to you. And first off, can you tell us more about Canada's Victoria Day celebrations? This day, that day, of course, is considered the reigning Canadian monarch's birthday. So King Charles, he gets 2 birthdays?
He gets 2 birthdays, yes. So his real birthday is in November, but a lot of the realms have it on another day when basically the weather is better. So in Canada, since 1957, it has been officially parked on Victoria Day. So we're celebrating 2 monarchs. We have Queen Victoria and we have the current monarch, King Charles III. And we're not alone in doing that. So like New Zealand does it in the beginning of June. Britain does it, of course, for Trooping the Colour in mid-June. And it's just one of those ways that kind of distinguishes the Canadian crown from his other realms. And for instance, like earlier this month, the Governor General unveiled the coronation medals, which are going to be given out to 30,000 Canadians who've made a significant contribution to the country. And this is just one of those things. So and I think you've got to have maple walnut ice cream today yesterday in honor of the king.
All right, Patricia said so. Done.
I have to have ice cream?
Oh, darn. Okay. All right, Patricia, we need your opinion on this because there's been so much talk about the King's new portrait that was unveiled last week at Buckingham Palace. We talked about it on the show, but now we have you here. Wow, it has garnered opinion all around the globe. People have mixed feelings on this. What is your take?
I'm going to say I loved it. I absolutely adored it. I'm mesmerized by it. I could not stop watching it. And I'm not a fan of the artist. I thought his painting of Queen Camilla was, quite frankly, a bit boring. And I gotta be honest, the thing I like about it is that it is not the traditional bland royal portrait. I mean, there's so many of them. There are palaces full of them. This is not that. It catches your attention, but it also captures him. I mean, Queen Camilla actually said to the artist, you got him. I mean, the face of Charles, that is him. I think it's going to hold up well over time, but it is controversial, and I will admit, the first time I saw it, the first thing I thought of was that scene in The Empire Strikes Back when Han Solo is encased in carbonite. That was what came to mind.
All right, speaking of portraits, we were just talking about this new exhibition of previously unseen photos from the Royal Archives that has just opened. What more can you tell us about this, Patricia?
Yeah, this is a century of royal photography because it really came into its own really in the 1920s, and the timing is perfect because as you mentioned earlier, it talks about retouching. It talks about how the royals project themselves on a world stage, because really how we perceive them is through those photographs. And what's fascinating is the ones that aren't chosen. So, for instance, you mentioned the 4 royal mothers. I mean, we've never seen that photograph before. We've seen them with their children and things like that, but we've never seen that photograph. And it's also why things are chosen and why things aren't chosen. So for instance, in the exhibition are these amazing photographs of the Queen Mother out in the garden twirling an umbrella, and they were taken in 1939 on the eve of war. And they're spectacular photographs, but they were deemed too light and frivolous given the darkening times. So they were packed away and they weren't seen for more than a decade. And that's what makes it fascinating for people like me.
We have to talk about Harry and Meghan for a second because they just celebrated an anniversary this weekend.
I know. 6th anniversary. I mean, 6th wedding anniversary. I can't believe it. So they were out and about with friends. They went to their favorite steakhouse in Montecito. You know, because 6 isn't a big anniversary. But I'm going to say I was looking back and I was thinking, how much has changed since that amazing day in Windsor, the spectacular day. You know, they were in a horse-drawn carriage with thousands of people cheering them on, and how everything has changed. And boy, when you think about what might have been, that it really kind of rang home this weekend for me.
All right, and this celebration, Patricia, comes after news that the Archewell Foundation was deemed delinquent by the state of California. That made all kinds of headlines late last week. What's the latest on this? Bring us up to speed if you could.
Yeah, everything is fine. I mean, basically, if you got to keep up with your government paperwork. It doesn't matter if you're filing your taxes or if you're a nonprofit like the Archewell Foundation. You got to keep up with your paperwork, and they didn't. And so there was an automatic delinquency notice sent out by the state of California. And basically, until they came back into compliance by getting their paperwork up to snuff, they couldn't receive or send out any money. But it was all dealt with in a few days. So everything is fine.
Okay. All right. We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you for the update, Patricia.
Okay. Have a good day.